Evening and welcome to Premier Division Racing. This is the Season 5 finale and we are at the famous old track of Imola. And we do have a battle for second place, as I have been saying for about the last 5 weeks. Unfortunately, I don't think... Oh no, Volcano has made it in time. There was a bit of talk and discussion whether he would make it in time for qualifying, but fortunately he is in. And he is one of the title protagonists for, well, the second place protagonist between Glassy, we've got Brandon, and we've got Jetfish, as well as Volcano, all could finish second at the end of this race. And just to keep you up to date on the championship here, we have Colin, who has already won on 405 points, out in first. We have Jetfish in second on 255 points. Brandon just behind, 6 points behind, so that is huge, this race. So watch that battle commencing on 249 points. Then Volcano on 228, Glassy on 227. So they're all separated by about 28 points back to Glassy in fifth. So anything can happen here, and we'll get on board with one of them here, and we'll go on board with Jetfish, who is currently sitting in second place. And he will be trying to get himself up there in qualifying. But really, for him, if Glassy or Volcano are going to win, they really, really need to finish in the podium positions here and hope that Jetfish finishes quite a way down or outside the points positions. In RPM, we play points all the way down to 15th position. So, Jetfish has just got to make sure he doesn't finish 16th and he has a chance here. As he crosses the line and goes second. A brilliant lap in front of him by Evil Master into the 115s already, so he's shown he's got the pace. He's back tonight after a little hiatus. Higgsy also doing a good time. A lot low 116s at the moment. Entity 116.5. Quinn a bit off the pace at the moment with a 117.3. So we'll go on board with Maga in the Alfa Romeo as he comes through the chicane into the last sector now. He'll head downhill into a left-hander, followed by another left-hander, a short run to DRS opening, and then a short run over the line, which will complete his lap. Can he get into those 16s as well? And he does, 116.5, so comfortably in there. Now let's see what we got going on behind. We got Brandon putting himself up to second early on. Wow. That's huge for Brandon at this point. Here comes Glassy, his teammate, who's also, as I mentioned, in this battle. With a 116.7. Not quite getting it all hooked up there, Glassy. Let's go and find another person on a hot lap. We've got Giraffe here coming round to the final corner now. And a very nice pit entry. First blood to Brandon in the title race. So, as things stand, just for everyone who's watching, first position will get 40 points. I'm just going to exclude pole position lap points and fastest lap points for a second. Second, 35. Third will get 30. And then I believe it's 26 for fourth. So if things were to stay as they are, Brandon would win that race to second place by 3 points. That's just how tight it is. Those two are the most likely, Jetfish and Brandon. But if they have a nightmare, I'm sure Glassy and Volcano will be there to pick up the pieces. We'll get one of the guys on an outlap. We'll get Colin, actually. He is the championship winner, and he managed to tie it all up a few races ago after some stunning drives on the bounce. Inorganic, good to see you in chat, saying, I'm scared to say it, but good luck to the Williams boys and to Higgsy. Well, yeah, let's hope your fortunes change this week in Organic and your luck actually works out well for the drivers. So 115.6 is the target for Colin here. He'll be wanting, I'm sure, to put in a dominant race at this last track of the season. I'm sure all of us in the chat, though, would quite like to see him not taking too many points away from the guys behind in the championship, because we want to see that battle absolutely getting heated in this last race as Colin flies through the first two corners, takes it to the left, using the curve very nicely. He will now ease off the throttle, throw it into left-hander, get nicely on the curve, using all the roads and into the slower hairpin, but you can use that banking as it goes uphill, and he's fastest in the first sector so far. Up the hill, he'll now swing it round to the left as Big Puggy retires, which is his usual method in qualifying, and throw it down to the right onto the brakes, going uphill now, get the power down as early as possible. He's going right over to the side of the road there, back to the left now. He'll throw it into the chicane, take as much curb as you dare, don't invalidate on the outside, keeps it all nice and clean, and that's 2 purple sectors so far for Colin. Now downhill into the left-hander, just 2 corners remaining of this lap. Throws it into the left-hander, beautiful, got nice traction out of there, and hammer down now to the line. He'll keep this distance as short as possible, close to the barrier. DRS open, and a 1:15.8 for Colin. So, now this is interesting. Volcano, as that was happening, put in a cracking time, just 400ths off Colin there, and he is on a 1:15.9. So, Evil Master has got some brilliant pace, 1:15.6, and is leading the pack. Colin only down in 3rd at the moment. And we'll see who we can pick up here on an out lap. I'm just trying to see who's next to cross the line. I think it's going to be Quinn and then Backer. I'll go on board with Backer just because I think maybe they're playing some team games here. Bit of tow, or maybe not. No. I'm going to go off board and go back on with Quinn, because Backer is doing no racing line tonight, so he said he didn't want me to show him much. I'm sure I will catch him at some point. Knowing me, usually spinning, and unfortunately I've done that for Quinn. He's nicely out of the way for his teammate though, and we'll go on board for Backer and see if he does similar. Wardy, nice to have you in chat. Let's hope for some entertainment tonight, and good luck Team Ferrari. Yeah, well, it's quite a surprise tonight, not seeing Colin straight to provisional pole. Some very, very fast times from Brandon and Evil. Brandon looking to go back-to-back second places in RPM Premier Division, and so far he's doing just what he needs to versus Jetfish in the Championship. Backer a bit lucky to not invalidate there, but maybe just easing off the throttle enough. And he'll go up this hill. He's on a 1:17.6 at the moment, so we could do with finding at least 6 temps to get him into the 16s. He's 3 temps up going into the chicane, takes enough curb onto the throttle now, and he'll head down the hill. Kieran saying good luck McLaren and Higgsy. Another Higgsy fan in. Yeah, well, Higgsy at the moment in 7th, but it's very, very tight at the top, just 7 temps off pole at the moment. Hello F1 Widow, nice to see you. I bet you're very surprised to see Colin down in 3rd at the moment, but it looks like we've got some real competitive times going in as Backer does get into the 16s, so 1:16.9. I'm going to take it on board with Glassy, who is he on an out lap here? Yeah, he's still got full ERS, so we'll have a look what Glassy can do, because he is one of these title, well, I keep saying title protagonists all the time. Oh, as Maggot goes 2nd, what a qualifying so far for the Alfa Romeos, 1 and 2, both on very, very quick times in the mid 1:15s. And they are setting the pace here as Glassy now, he'll be hoping to improve on 11th. He'll be hoping to at least be in front of Jetfish and put the pressure on there. And they should have 2nd in the Constructors tied up anyway. Unless Mercedes get maximum points in the car. Spun in front, who just gets out of the way. And that was an Alfa Romeo in front. So Glassy past that, takes lots of curb on the inside. And managed to get it all nicely round there. Uphill now into the 2nd sector. As we throw it into left-hander and start to head back downhill. Oh, very, very close on the track limits there, just keeping it in play. And now we'll throw it back to the right. runs a little bit wide, misses the apex slightly on the inside, but he's still going very, very well here. He's half a second up into the chicane, takes loads of curb on the inside, make sure he keeps it within that line on the outside. So he's going to have a clean lap at it here. Can he get any more advantage than the half second he's found already? This could push him up to about 8th if he can get this right, but he'll be hoping to steal 7th away from Jetfish. He'll take a short run to the line and a 1:15.9. He does go 7th. He just takes it from Jetfish, 200ths of a second. That's huge for Glassy at this moment. So who've we got? Jetfish is going very slowly. Got Volcano coming up to a lap. And we will also, I believe, we'll have Colin on another lap. Colin may already be on a lap, but we'll watch Volcano in about over a second, as we've been on board with Colin already. Inorganic. Well, thank you very much for the compliments on the commentary. I try my best. Try not to slur my words too much and not say anything stupid, but, you know, doesn't always go well. But we'll have hopefully more times together next season, as unfortunately I've just watched Volcano just pulling off into the pits. And Colin looks like he's backed out of that one. He's made a little mistake, and Glassy getting out, a lot of cars getting out of the way at the moment for traffic here. And so is Luke, struggling to find a lap here. We've got Giraffe, and this is definitely an invalidated lap because he's going around 2 minutes here. We'll go on board with the Williams driver. I know you'll appreciate this one, Inorganic, and let's hope Giraffe can move that car off. He's had a few good results recently, and he'll be hoping to catch his teammate Entity up in the championship. That is currently, that battle in the Williams is just 4 points in between them in the championship at the moment. So they will, I know they're good friends, but they'll want to get one over each other, I'm sure. And we've got every driver in the pit now. We're looking at the final runs of the session. Who will leave it latest? Will they wait for the track to evolve? If it does, Giraffe just missing that apex a little bit like Glassy did. But he hasn't invalidated yet, so he's going to get a time on the board here. Throws it into the chicane. Oh, well, I don't know if we've got a bit of lag there, because it looked like he was going fully sideways, but then it was absolutely fine. Now, throwing it into the left-hander. And coming round the final corner, don't invalidate here. And he doesn't. And there we go, across the line, and a 1:16.8. So he does put himself up a few positions in front of the two Red Bulls. And as you can see, we've got like we've got 9th to, well, 14th. Quinn's just a little bit off the back of his teammate. We've got 9th to 14th. Oh, we'll go on board with Quinn because Quinn's 4 temps up. So potentially 9th to 15th now. All in the 16s. And then in front, we've got it ever so tight at the front. Colin down in 4th at the moment, as you can see. But we've got 8 drivers in the 15s as well. Absolutely brilliant from them. And it's 3 temps from 8th to 1st. So this is anybody's pole position. And I can't remember quite a qualifying so tight and tense for a pole position this season. Smith saying, good evening everyone, good luck. The Williams, Giraffe and Entity, have a great race guys. Well, yeah, Entity's got a nice little lap in there. He'll be hoping to find another half a second to get out, and Giraffe managed just to get a lap in, but he might not have time for another, as Quinn improves by half a second, so he is now the front running Red Bull. That demotes Backer to 15th place. And we'll see who we've got. Everyone's leaving it quite late, coming out the pits here, as you can see. Going to try and catch the first driver. Well, Evil Master, how are you, P1? Well, you did a stunning lap. Unfortunately, I wasn't on board for it. I think I've just gone on board with Colin, and you set that, and your teammate absolutely flying. I was not expecting that before the race, to see Alfa Romeo 1-2, but I'm all for it. Now, the first to go on their flyers is going to be Jetfish, and he is needing, as you can see, well, he's warming those tyres up like crazy, and he needs a big lap now. With Brandon all the way up in 3rd, he's 5 positions ahead. Volcano also ahead of him at the moment, and Glassy marginally ahead. And, well, I say that as well, Volcano's only 500ths ahead. So, Jetfish through the first corner, swings it back to the right. Now he'll go left, using as much curb as he dares. And it's all within track limits at the moment. He'll throw it left and then get right over to the right again. And braking into the hairpin. Uphill, has a little moment on the brakes, but he's still going well. And up here, he will then swing to the left now. Gets it beautiful round there. And now throw it into the right. Heavy braking. Finds that apex nicely, and he's on the throttle early. And he is racing towards the chicane here. He's 2 tenths up at the moment, which could be huge with how tight it is up at the top. Keeps it all tidy enough, and he will be making a lap time here unless he runs wide at the final corner. Now he'll take it to the left. All good there. Take it to the left again. Get that throttle on as much as he can. Keeps it all in track limits. Open the DRS. Short run to the line. And Jetfish, 1:15.7. He found a lot of time there at the end, as Colin then goes even faster. Just only by a 100th of a second to Evil Master. Jetfish moves himself up to 4th. Now, Brandon, who is also improving at the moment, but not quite enough. He will be, at a minute, he's looking like he's going to get a 1:15.75, which will be 5 thousandths slower than Jetfish, so he needs to find a bit more. But now he's 2 tenths up. Brandon is flying, and he might have a pole position in him here. Just 2 corners left, and he might get a bit of a tow from the car as he gets onto the straight ahead. And gets to the left. Keep it all in track limits. He's right on the limit here, Brandon. Oh, just in track limits, and he will come to the line. And it's a 1:15.657. He's missed out on it by 500. So close from Brandon there. Volcano is also 2 tenths up. In 7th currently. Can he get himself into the mix here? All very tidy through the last corner. It's a 1:15.6 again, just slower than Brandon. So Jetfish has been demoted. Have we got Glassy coming round? Looks like he's a tenth down at the moment. But you never know. He might just get this. And he pulls off into the pits. So Backer, and he's 4 seconds down at the moment. And my God, what a tight qualifying for pole. The top 5 drivers all on 1:15.6s. Amazing. I agree, Wardy. Great entertainment. I think that's the hardest Colin has ever had to work for a pole position, and it was literally the finest of margins that could have got you pole there. And I say the top 5 are all on 1:15.6s, but Jetfish is only a tenth off that. Sminotler not far behind that either, and Higgsy and Glassy have done a very, very good times of 1:15.9s. You'd be thinking you might be able to get a pole with that, but that just shows how quick these guys are and how competitive they are. And I think the Alfa Romeos would be very pleased with that 2nd and 5th. I didn't see Evil Master come out for a final run unless he invalidated, but it was all changed there at the end. It looked like Jetfish had stolen the march a little bit, but when they needed the goods, Colin, Brandon, Volcano, they all delivered. Glassy will be a little bit disappointed with 9th, but only 3 tenths off pole being Colin. Shows you just how tight of it is. And Al, down in 10th, only 4 tenths off. Then we got a little bit of a gap back to Entity in 11th. Luke and Quinn are just a little bit off the pace. A bit unusual for Luke there, but we know how good at racecraft he is. And Giraffe also, you can see how tight it was between 12th to 15th as well. Just a tenth separating them. And Puggy, well, he doesn't usually qualify, to be fair, so that's not unusual for him. So he'll be starting last. And I bet you he'll be starting on the hard tyres. Right, so I do believe so far that that pole position from Colin will take away 1 point, because you get a point for pole position. So that is 1 point gone for these guys. They got ever so close to stealing a point in the championship. There will be 2 points awarded for fastest lap, so that could be absolutely huge, considering you've got Brandon and Jetfish separated by just 6 points, and Glassy and Volcano separated by just 1 point. But obviously, you need to get the points on track as well. Wardy saying, everyone's got pace here, so it's going to be a very interesting first corner. Yeah, you got to keep it, you got to try and keep it tidy. Hopefully we don't see, I think it was Daniel Ricciardo and Carlos Sainz last season. Hopefully we don't see anything like that, or, you know, Hamilton and Verstappen had a little coming together here. There are sausage curbs around some of these corners, and it can really knock you out of control a little bit. And if you've got a car to your side, it then becomes very, very difficult to refrain from making any sort of contact, as Colin leads us away on our formation lap. If I had a pound for every time I said that, I'd be looking pretty rich now. Ivor, good luck all, he says. Yeah, absolutely. And did I see rain? That might just be my glasses are smudged, but it does look a bit dull. I will have fun at the last one, Mr. Ivor. I've got my beer in front of me. I've got some great racers to watch. I've got some lovely spectators along with me, and I will try and keep you guys as entertained as possible. Well, not necessarily me entertaining you. These guys will entertain you. And as always, if you've got any predictions, put them in chat. I'll be sure to read them out. And if you want to see any battles, or you notice something that I'm missing, feel free to just whack it in chat, and I will try and show you guys the races you want, as I'm struggling to make my mind up what I want to see on the detail there. So we have a bit of a split through the field. The front four all on mediums, probably to be expected, as well as Jetfish. He won't be wanting to let his title rivals get out ahead. Maggot on hard, so he's going for a long race. He's not really playing a part in too much of a championship battle, so he will be looking to just have a good race, and that's probably why he's trying something a bit different. We've got Sminotla, Higgsy, Glassy all on hard. So Glassy and Brandon splitting that strategy. Al on medium, so that might be a little bit of a problem for the Mercedes. If they get close on track, they will maybe be stopping at very similar times, so their pit crew will have to be very good. As you can see, Colin getting a lovely little line at the... as I said that, he was trying to angle that perfectly towards the corner, but he overshot his parking spot. A very un-Colin-like mistake that, and that means he's going to have a bit colder tyres. He starts a bit further back, so Evil Master might have a little look here. I might go on board. Should we go on board with Jetfish for once? He always has a flying start. He is second in the championship. We might be able to see what's happening in front. I might have to move around a little bit. 5 lights, and okay, let's go. And actually, it's Brandon with the flying start up there, and they're wheel and wheel, and Brandon in the middle. And Colin on the inside. Brandon's going to be forced wide, but then they've got the Alpha of Evil Master around the outside, and it's getting very, very messy. Evil Master off into the gravel. He is down to 6th already. And Colin and Brandon away. We've got a yellow flag. It doesn't seem to be a safety car. It doesn't seem to be a virtual safety car either at the moment. And we are racing. And Glassy, he's got caught up in it. He's down to 16th, and he's on those hard tyres, so he's got to try and make something work. Jetfish and Volcano side by side. These guys are competing for second place, as I have mentioned. Jetfish hanging it around the outside. He'll be forced a bit wide. They give enough room, but he's going to have the inside to this corner. And Jetfish just taking that one, but has a little bit of a moment on the exit, but good traction away at least. And Maggot might come under pressure, but what a start from Maggot on those hard tyres. But as I said before, it is looking very, very cloudy here. I don't know if we've got rain expected, but currently, as I've missed all that, Brandon took the lead. So, advantage Brandon, Jetfish down in 4th, Volcano 5th, and Glassy down in 15th. Brandon is doing everything he can to get second place for the second season running in the championship. Just seen Wardy's prediction. Colin, Brandon, Jetfish, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, well, that would be Really good. That would come down to a fastest lap then if Brandon or Jetfish could get it, because it's 5-point difference between, well, first to second or second to third. So, more to play for, but at the moment it's advantage Brandon. But I think we still got Volcano all on the back of this, but so is Evil Master trying to make a comeback. And he is round the outside. You can see he's got a very dirty car there after his escapades at turn 2. And he's just going to get squeezed out a bit. Oh, he goes round the outside, runs off the track. Volcano's still there, and they're battling all the way down there. This could end up very badly. And Volcano's got to watch this because he is in a championship battle, whereas Evil Master is not. So he has to be very, very careful at the moment. Sensible thing would be is Evil's looking very quick. Let him go. You never know what could happen then in front. But Volcano being very, very racy here again. As Brandon still about 9/10 ahead of Collins. That gap remains. I can see some positions changing at the back. Glassy, unfortunately, 4.2 seconds behind Giraffe, and unfortunately, Higgsy must have got caught up in all of that I struggled to pick up on the camera at the back. As we got Jetfish and Maggot side by side. Jetfish is past, he's on the inside, and he'll have that move done before the corner. And he is now into third place. At this point, if it stays as it is, Jetfish will lose the championship. But actually by 6 points at the moment, because Brandon has the fastest lap. But if someone steals that, that will be just 4 points. And currently, Volcano will take 4th in the championship with Glassy way down at the moment, just scoring 1 point down in 15th. So Glassy needs a safety car or something at this point. And I wonder if Evil Master will have a part to play in this race still, because he was so fast in qualifying. And even after that early mistake, he's fought his way back up to 5th now. But Volcano not giving it up at all. Still just 4/10 behind. But he's also got Sminotler for company now. Sminotler coming alive a bit on those hard tyres. And just a quick mention, actually. I'll have a little look at positions gained. We've got... Colin's been dropped a bit as well. Colin, 1.6 seconds down on Brandon. The two Red Bulls, absolutely excellent start. 4th and 4 positions up for Bakker and 5 positions up for Quinn. Luke also up 3 positions. He's the master of keeping out of trouble. But as I say that, Al diving past Luke there and using that DRS to good advantage. And Luke now might be under a bit of pressure from Entity behind. The Williams also making some gains off the start. The big losers are Glassy and Higgsy out in 15th and 16th, but they are gaining on this group, so they do have pace. We'll just see what we've got happening up in front. The Red Bulls still very close together in 8th and 9th, but we've got 2 races happening here at the moment. Bakker now using no line, dropping back a little bit from Sminotler, who's trying to go with Volcano and the guys in front. But we'll get back on board with Evil Master. I wonder if we'll have a bit of a change of the Alpha leading the charge, because at the moment Evil on those mediums, he has the better tyres at the moment, but eventually it will start to play into Maggot's hands. And Maggot, you can't count him out of this race at all. On that strategy, he's the highest hard runner, still Sminotler in 7th, the rest of the hard runners down at the back. So for Maggot, this is working out very nicely, and he's not dropping time to Jetfish either. He's right there, staying within DRS, but I reckon he might try and release Evil Master to go and battle with Jetfish again and just let the race fall towards him, because Maggot is on the best strategy at the moment, I believe. He does go a bit wide there. Evil Master now having a run, and as I said it, they do a bit of team orders, and I think that's a sensible decision, whilst Evil Master's got the tyre advantage. So he is now chasing Jetfish. Colin and Brandon, the gap remains, but Jetfish is dropping back off Colin a little. And I'm just going to have a quick look ahead just to see what the state of play. And Brandon has actually managed to save ERS as well. So Brandon just has the pace here. And what have we got happening behind? We've got Al and Bakker very, very close together. So Al starting to make some moves now in the other Mercedes. But having to just sit behind at the moment, but he's going to have a massive helping of DRS. But Bakker also getting on Smonola. Oh, Al getting all out of shape on those curbs, but he will gain right back with the DRS. Bakker, a bit of a sitting duck at the moment. He's got no DRS of himself. He may cover the inside here, which it looks like he is doing. But then Al having a look. Bakker just having enough pace. I wonder how much ERS he was draining through there. But he'll be safe for a little bit longer. And Quinn behind. He'll be hoping to try and put Al under a bit more pressure here to help out his teammate. As we start to see Colin actually gaining on Brandon a little bit now, 1.6 seconds. So he's brought that down by 2 tenths in this lap. It's all still to play for here. But currently, Brandon will be taking second place in the championship if it stays as it stands. And actually, Al just dropping back from Bakker in the middle sector there. But then maybe just gaining a little bit here. Smonola actually dropping back quite significantly off Volcano now on those hard tyres. 3.2 seconds, and Bakker just 1.4 behind him now. But Bakker is going to be exposed here without the DRS. And I'm just going to get up front because Evil Master and Jetfish, they're going to go side by side. And Evil Master will have that one done by the corner. And that could be huge for the championship battle. Evil Master through. I'll get back to Bakker and out. And Bakker managing to hold on to it again with no DRS. So he is flying at the moment. And here goes Evil Master up into the podium positions again. And that is not good for Jetfish, because it's costing him a little bit of time to these guys. But Evil Master is absolutely flying at the moment. He did a purple first sector there as well. And he is looking very, very racy at the moment. And as I said before, I think Maggot's on the best strategy at the moment if there is no safety cars or incidents. And I also noticed that Luke picked up a 3-second penalty during all of that. That'll be for track limits. And someone is round. That appears to be Giraffe. So that gives Glassy a position back, gives Higgsy a position back. And Glassy also on the back of Puggy here. I might have to go and look at that one pretty soon. There's Jetfish just holding in the DRS at the moment. We could see another overtake. We've got another yellow flag. That is Giraffe again. I think he must have had a moment. It'll probably slow getting moving again. And Jetfish just a bit too far back here. So let's get over to Glassy, who actually has dropped back a little bit now. And he's low, very low on ERS as Al gets past Bakker. So at least one Mercedes is moving in the right direction at the moment. Glassy just a little bit too far back there to really make any move happen. He will be getting desperate to start making up some positions or hoping for some rain or a safety car at the moment. He needs things to move back in his favour. But at this point, really, he needs Jetfish to have a big mistake. But as all that's happened, Puggy got a bit wide, and that's allowed Glassy through. Probably not where he was expecting to get a move done. And Puggy also running a bit wide there. So Glassy is through. Remember, he will be going longer than the guys in front. He just needs to play himself back into it, and he can overcut them and have the faster tyres at the end. But not gone his way the last 2 weeks so far. Glassy, who famously last week on cold tyres sending it into a barrier whilst leading the race. So Glassy really, really struggled the last 2 races. He'll be hoping for a bit of luck now. And up ahead, actually, Jetfish and Evil Master still battling. Sorry about that. Moving everywhere. But Volcano Maggot is a bit of a battle at the moment, and Volcano will be looking to get past Maggot here as Entity gets past Luke as well. Entity actually having quite a nice little race here. But Volcano needs to get past Maggot if he can pretty soon, because he'll be wanting to put a bit of pressure on Jetfish. Allow Jetfish just to see him in his mirrors and just make him a little bit nervous. but he really could do with Jetfish dropping down. And there goes Maggot into the wall as we caught it on. And as I said, he was having a great race. Watch out, guys, as you come around that corner. And that will be a safety car. Yep, safety car heading into the first chicane now. And, wow, Glassy will be absolutely buzzing off that. So will Higgsy. One man's loss is another man's gain, as they say. And that has proved to be the case for Maggot, the stricken car in the barriers there. And we'll start to see some pit stops. Brandon, he'll need to get his pit stop right here. He will, I imagine, switch to the hard tyres and try and take them to the end. So for the hard tyre runners, this kind of presents a bit of an issue. It's come a little bit too early to take the mediums to the end. And actually kind of scuppers their strategy a little bit. Brandon, though, will be a bit disappointed in that because he was about 2 seconds ahead of Colin. And he will lose that advantage. And here goes Glassy. Glassy, I think, making the right call on the hard tyres. There's no point him pitting. Even though, yes, he does get a free pit stop, but he won't take the mediums to the end. He will have to pit again. So he may as well take the hards, hope for another safety car, and be on the same strategy as everyone else, but have better track position. And I think he's done the right thing here. And so has Higgsy. He's got a bit of a shield between him and some of his championship rivals now, with Higgsy in behind. And all of a sudden, with Glassy leading this race, Jetfish down in 6th, Brandon would secure 2nd by 5 points to Jetfish, I believe. But Glassy would only finish 7 points behind Jetfish, and Volcano would be just in the distance a little bit, 20 points behind Glassy. But that shows how this can all swing around very, very quickly. Jetfish cannot afford to lose any positions here. And Glassy and Brandon need to try and attack or hold on to what they've got. But I'm sure what's going to be very, very exciting here, we've got an Evil Master who's racing. He'll just want to win tonight. He's not in a championship battle, but hopefully he's respectful enough of the other drivers that are. But Volcano and Jetfish, who've had a few coming together in the last few weeks, and they're competing for this 2nd place, this could get very, very fiery off the safety car restart. They are going to be fighting like hell. And both on the same compound of tyres. There's no advantage tyre-wise. It's going to be a straight-out battle between these two. And Evil Master, I imagine, won't be helping either of them out. I actually see Giraffe at the back there. I wonder if he'll pit again, but he's put the soft tyres on. Maybe he's just put the soft tyres on to then go and pit for hards. No, stays out on the soft, so he might stay out for another lap and then pit. Try and get as fresh tyres as possible. You know, again, sorry, I just missed that you said Luke Entity and Kingpin close battle. Sorry, I will try and keep an eye on that as much as I can. But it's starting to look a bit better for the McLaren drivers here. I mean, Glassy has gone from last to first by virtue of a safety car. Well, pretty well last. And it shows a massive change of fortunes. And it wasn't an incident caused by a driver, unfortunately. Maggot just dropping it after what was a very, very impressive qualifying from Maggot and a very good start to the race. And I thought on his strategy, he was in a real chance for a podium there, and it was such a shame to see him crash out. And just one Alfa Romeo now left in this race. Inorganic saying Giraffe on soft, hopefully another safety car for him. Well, yeah, he's going to have to pit again for sure. Those softs will be dead very, very quickly. I don't know whether he's put them on to then go and pit again if the safety car didn't come in this lap. Put the hards on, have the freshest tyres, but that's not the case. The safety car is in this lap, so I'll go on board with Glassy. Well, I'll go on board with Higgsy, who's right behind Glassy, because I find it easier to see when he's pushing on. And Glassy will wait for the safety car to get round the final corner, And then he might absolutely send it out of this corner because it's a very long straight and the start-finish line comes very, very early in the straight. And there goes Glassy. Higgsy does follow him though. Didn't gain much out of there, Glassy. He'll be using ERS as well, I imagine, and they're both using ERS at the moment. And no DRS obviously now for 2 more laps with that safety car. Glassy running a bit deep there, but it's all moving in the right direction. So it's actually moved in his favour a bit with a bit of luck. Backer getting past Al and Sminotla there at the back. Sorry, I missed that, guys watching. And getting a bit out of shape there. And very out of shape there. And that'll allow Al up the inside. And Al will take that position straight back. And he is going to try and put Volcano under pressure. And Sminotla also getting past Backer there. So let's get on board with the fights up ahead, as we've got Volcano already dropping back off Jetfish here. Jetfish going with Evil. Evil also right in close behind Colin. Brandon gaining on Higgsy, and Glassy leading quite nicely, but it's all very, very tight at the moment. We're in a bit of a train. And we'll just go up in front because Brandon very, very close now behind Higgsy. Higgsy had a little moment on the exit there on those older hard tyres, but look at that pace in a straight line from Higgsy. Brandon not choosing to use any ERS at the moment. We did see in the first stint at the race he was saving ERS beautifully. And he looks like that is his aim at the moment, knowing that DRS will be opening up for racing at the end of this lap for the next lap, and he's just having to be a little bit careful at the moment. As you can see how close this battle for first is at the moment. Glassy leading us away in the McLaren. Brandon now very close behind Higgsy there. Colin just half a second behind this battle, as you can see him coming through behind there, and Brandon just having to back out of it a little bit. And Evil will follow in behind Colin very closely there, actually closing up massively through braking. As we've got a yellow flag in sector 2, that's Giraffe who's gone round on those soft tyres. I don't know if he was trying to make a move on Luke, but he's now 8 seconds off the back of the group, down from 10th behind Backer. As this race could go any way now. A lot of guys will be trying to run to the end here. Sminotla and Puggy a bit compromised from starting on the hards. They are on the mediums and they'll be trying to get them to the end, but it's going to be very, very difficult as we see Brandon and Higgsy and Glassy all very, very close. DRS now enabled and nothing doing this lap, all still in the same positions. And Jetfish actually getting caught by Volcano a bit. Volcano now within a DRS range of him, but Al very, very close behind Volcano, just 2 tenths behind this. You'll see them in the background of your shot there as they go up the hill. And Brandon now very, very close behind Higgsy, but he's not going to be able to get it done here. Saves his ERS. He's saving this to either defend with or attack when he thinks it's going to be more likely to get the move done. But Colin is catching this, so they've got to be careful they don't wait too long. And Evil also, he's very, very tight behind Colin at the moment. You'll see him in the background of the shot there. They go through the chicane, not really an overtaking opportunity at the moment. Colin gets very, very close in behind Brandon there. Runs a little bit wide because he probably locked up a little bit going through there. And they're all still pointing in the right direction with no damage, so that's very good. And Colin just having to sit behind, and same with Brandon at the moment. But Glassy is starting to stretch his legs a little bit out in front, but he is exposed from the DRS. So as we can see here, Brandon in close behind, but Higgsy might be a little bit more likely because Glassy has no DRS, which would be a shame for Glassy as he was stretching his legs. The guys behind get a massive helping of DRS, and that puts them right back on him. But look how close Colin is here. Has a little look, makes Brandon think twice going through this chicane. Brandon knew he was safe there. These guys race very nicely together, Colin and Brandon, and very respectful once again. And as you can see, right back to Sminotla there in 9th. We've got all cars within a second of each other in terms of intervals, so they must be about
all separated by about 3 to 4 seconds across this, not much more. So anything can happen here. Backer just dropped off the back of this a little bit in 10th, 1.6 seconds behind. Entity also outside his DRS. Then you got Quinn and Puggy close in behind him. Luke a bit further behind, and you got Giraffe 44 seconds behind after making a pit stop after another spin. So he's not really in this race at the moment. You can see there again, Glassy's brilliant in that second and the middle part of the third sector, but then obviously he's so exposed on the straight here. But Brandon is very, very close behind Higgsy now, and he has used a bit more ERS on the last lap. But he's not going to have the pace to get it done before the corner. This also helping Glassy, because Higgsy not getting so close to him as he's under massive pressure off Brandon. But it is all bunched up very tightly here as Sminotler in the background. What's happened here? Sminotler fighting with Volcano and Al. As you see, Al getting past Volcano as well. Something's happened there. They've dropped back a little bit, and there's been an incident. Yeah, they're 2 seconds down now on that train in front. And Volcano losing out there. And Jetfish will be breathing a sigh of relief as one of his rivals dropping back a little bit there. And you can see Backer in the background of the shot, very, very close to that. We'll get back on board as Brandon and his train still going on. I kind of hate to be Glassy looking in my mirrors going, oh my God, look at all these cars getting double drafts and DRS on me at the moment. But he's doing brilliantly out in front on those 15-lap old hard tyres. Brandon very, very close in behind Higgsy now. Just needs to keep it very, very tight through here and just get a better drive. And you can see he's almost all over the gearbox before they even get out the corner. And opening the DRS, he's using his ERS this lap, but so will Higgsy. And Brandon now switches off his ERS, thinking, I'm not going to gain enough. He's going to have to do it. Maybe in a different area of the track, but don't forget the 2 guys in front of Brandon have got to pit. So he is effectively in first position at the moment, but if there's a safety car and people start pitting towards the end of the race, that changes everything. Track position could become the trump card here. In chat, if you've got any predictions for how this race is going to go, I'd love to hear them, because to be honest with you, I have no idea. Colin's stuck in 4th, and he has been for, 5 or so laps, and was stuck in 2nd behind Brandon before. I wouldn't have expected before the race. As you can see, again, Glassy having a nice second sector, up to 8 tenths to gap, and Brandon has a moment that's going to let Colin through. Brandon having a moment on that curb, and that's going to put him under pressure from Evil Master as well. Evil Master going to the outside. Brandon diving back up the inside, and it's getting very feisty here. Keep it all together, boys. And just in track limits, and Brandon fighting that one, but he's under pressure now from Jetfish. And Jetfish should be looking at this and really wanting to make his mark on this little battle. And as you can see, he's diving around behind them both. It's going to get very, very close in here, but he was a bit cornered in there. Jetfish can't do anything, and that's going to bring Al, Sminotler and Volcano straight back into this battle. It's now starting to get very, very dicey, and that's advantage back to Colin for the race win, and Evil Master moving up. Backer seems to have had a moment. Yeah, through the first 2 corners, he's back on track now and moving in the right direction, so there won't be any virtual or safety car, I don't think, there. I don't know if he's got any damage, but we'll stay on board for this because it's getting quite breathless up the front now. And you can see Glassy still up in front ahead. The 2 Mercedes running side by side at the moment. You can see Al just in behind here. But Colin now all over the back of Higgsy in front. And Higgsy is getting very close to losing that DRS on Glassy. It's the biggest the gap's been for a while. Ivor saying nope, no prediction from me. Yeah, that's probably the safest thing you could do, Ivor. Anyone could be in the top 5, he says, and I totally agree. It is absolutely crazy how tight this racing is tonight. But Colin, he's going, he gets forced to the outside. Higgsy's going to defend this one up the inside, and he does. Colin, but he hangs around the outside, he'll have the inside here, but it's going to get very close. They make a bit of contact. And Colin now under pressure, and we see an Alfa Romeo going off in the background. That's Evil Master into the gravel. Not sure what's happened to him. And that's promoted Brandon and Jetfish and Al up a position. Volcano also benefiting from that, up into 8th. And Evil Master dropping all the way back to 12th. Oh, as we see, Higgsy's gone off. Higgsy's out. And it's just a yellow flag. No safety car. There is a safety car. Speaking too soon. And oh my God, absolutely kicking off again. And Glassy, well done. Playing your luck. There you go. There's your free pit stop. Get your nice fresh mediums on. And get yourself racing for that second place in the championship. It is all coming up after this next safety car. It is anyone's game. Glassy, Brandon's, Jetfish, Volcano, the championship drivers going for second position here in Season 5. All very, very close to each other on track, as we will, I imagine, all be changing tyres for this safety car. Maybe we'll have someone gambling and staying out for track position. It certainly will not be Glassy, who pits now. Colin stays out, so does Brandon. I've called this completely wrong. Jetfish into the pits. Volcano stays out. So I think, to be honest, that's the only thing Volcano could do. He was a little bit distant from the other drivers. He needs to try something, but so does Glassy. Jetfish probably could have stayed out on the hards there to match Brandon. Brandon probably was the person he'd want to match, because they are the closest on points coming into the race. And Volcano now will be gaining points back, and obviously Glassy's managed to get out in front of Jetfish there. But they've got the faster medium tyres. They're going to be, by the time we go racing, 12 laps fresher than the hard tyres. Well, let's say 12 laps, 10 laps fresher. Yeah, organic, yeah. Well, you've got the Williams in 10th and 13th. You have given the kiss of death to Higgsy. It's so unfortunate. It looks, to be honest, it looked for me like he'd only lose the front wing, so absolutely gutted for how well he's raced. To see him lose a tyre there. And Higgsy's just had a few moments this season where he's become very, very unlucky. And such a shame. But yeah, you do have the kiss of death, and you're saying you won't do a prediction to do it anymore. I'm sure you'll have some people supporting some teams, maybe paying you a bit of money to put that kiss of death on some of these drivers. But as things stand, Brandon will tie up second place. Jetfish will finish third. Volcano will finish fourth, and Glassy, now with pitting, will be dropped back into fifth in the championship. So that shows that it's just constantly changing at the moment. Another battle to keep an eye on. Al and Quinn are separated by 1 point now in the championship. If Quinn can get a position off the start here, so if he gets Volcano, he could move himself up into 7th place in the championship. Higgsy being out also could be caught out by Quinn and Al, but they have to score mega points to do that. They're only 3 behind him at the moment, but obviously they are in very good point scoring positions. There's not many more points left on the table for them. And Luke will be hoping to find some points. He's been dropped from his brother at the moment in terms of the championship battles that I can see live on my screen here. Luke saying absolutely hate no line. Yeah, it takes a little bit of getting used to. Your pace has been good though. Pace is competitive, and it'll only get better, I think, as you get used to it. And I think you'll start to find you can maybe find a bit more time than you do with the line. But yeah, it's certainly you have to keep your concentration at much higher levels and really focus hard. Any mistake can be very costly. So, Colin, for the first time all race, has actually led a lap. I think that might be the first time I've ever said that. He is leading it, albeit behind the safety car currently, after staying out on those hard tyres. Brandon might get very racy here, because we've already seen Brandon's pace. I think, to be fair, Luke, as well, seeing what you say in the chat, I think it's quite a difficult. If you haven't done it without line before, I think it's quite a difficult track for the first time. You know, because obviously it's different when you've got cars around you and stuff. It's quite a difficult track with no line here, especially with all the sausage curbs and other things that can catch you out. As I see at the back there, now I like what's happening here. A Red Bull and a Williams, and I think you'll like this one here, Organic. We love a gamble in this chat. And we've got some soft runners, and I like this move. And they're gonna go for pure pace off the start here, hoping that the guys at the front on the hard tyres have got nothing left in them in terms of pace. They'll obviously have the durability, but it's going to get very, very interesting here. Unfortunately, if you're just catching up with us now, we've had Higgsy and Maggot dropping out of this race, and at both occasions, both running in, well, Higgsy was running in second, and I do believe Maggot was either fourth or fifth, so they're both right at the front of the action when they crash, so such a shame for both of them. And I like what Backer's saying in that, getting very feisty, saying watch your mirrors, Luke, as he sits right behind him on the track on those soft tyres. Inorganic saying softs now might be a very good call. Yeah, it's right on the limit for the softs, but you never know, it could be an unbelievable call, and we'll go on board with Brandon. He'll wait to see when Colin starts. Colin letting that safety car go even further than Glassy did. When will he take off? He's going to take off very soon, I'd imagine, on the exit of this corner. And you can see Brandon not wanting to be caught out, and actually Colin leaving it quite late. Tries to catch him out. Brandon wise to it though, these guys have been here before. And Brandon gaining, but it's not going to be enough into the first corner. Oh, and ow was tapped. Oh, and the cars having to separate wide. Oh no! And who did he catch coming across the track? It was the Williams of Entity. And I did see and Volcano got hit. So Volcano, it's an absolute disaster for him. I did see Glassy coming up on that. And I'm just going to have a look at his wing. He looks to be all good. And Glassy, all of a sudden, up to 5th position. I saw when the Mercedes was going around backwards. Oh, and Brandon got past Colin. I missed that with all the chaos at the back there. I completely missed that. And Brandon now half a second ahead of Colin. But Glassy really benefiting from all that. And on those medium tyres will be flying. I thought he was going to get hit by that Mercedes because I could see Glassy heading straight at him for a moment there. I'd love to see that in slow motion. I know Glassy does the highlights for us. If he could put that in slow motion so I can actually see what happened, because it looks like pure jeopardy. And Brandon checking out a bit in front. Quinn up into third. Brilliant drive from him. And this will promote him to 6th in the championship now. This will put him above Higgsy in the championship. And also give him the bragging rights over his brother in the championship, Luke. Now, Glassy getting close to Evil Master, a little bit too far back, but he will have the tyre advantage here. Backer and Giraffe also going very well on those softs in close behind Luke, and Luke will be watching those mirrors as Backer warned him to. And you can see now Quinn actually dropping back a little bit as Evil Master throwing it up the inside, gets that move done, and Glassy's going to get a good little bit of drive on these guys as they were fighting through there. But they are dropping back massively from the front two runners, and Jetfish still all over the back of Glassy here. Oh, and Glassy getting very close in behind Quinn now, and he's going to be under huge pressure from that Mercedes behind. The Mercedes looks to the inside. He's going to have to pull out of that one. Yeah, no move doing there, but that gives Monotler a chance as the Mercedes compromised its entry point a little bit. And I think Glassy will be looking for this move on this straight. He'll be looking for it early. He's looking to get whatever advantage he can. He's got the better tyres. He needs to get moving, and he needs to get past the Red Bull of Quinn here as quick as possible. He's using all his ERS here, sat in the slipstream. He'll move over to the inside, and he's going to have this one done before we get to the corner. No DRS yet. There'll be DRS next lap. And Inorganic saying he has cursed Entity. Yeah, unfortunately, Entity getting caught up in that fight. And actually, Glassy got past Quinn and then nearly had to go straight back at Evil Master. Evil Master dropping back massively and struggling for pace for the first time all night we've seen from him. And Glassy looking very racy. Also, he's gaining a few points now because Jetfish now stuck behind Quinn. But it won't be enough for him. But it is all working very, very well for Brandon, who will be taking second place in the championship if this goes as it is. And Colin not quite able to get after him at the moment, but maintaining that gap at 8 tenths. Now Glassy, he'll be wishing that DRS was online for this lap, because he's very close. He's going to have to use the rest of this ERS, but as we've seen tonight, I don't think Evil Master's going to yield too easily. But Glassy's going to try it. But Evil Master with an absolutely great exit off the corner. Oh no, he does have DRS, sorry. My mistake. And this is a huge chance then for Glassy. He can get 2 positions in 2 laps. Moves to the outside. He's going to have it done in the braking zone. As you can see, Evil Master has to filter back in. And Glassy into a podium position. Finding his form here tonight when it matters most. But Jetfish did get past Quinn whilst that move was taking place. So, it is whatever you can do, I can do better at the moment. And he can't quite manage to find those points to beat Jetfish. He could do with Jetfish having a puncture like he did at Silverstone a few weeks ago, or having a moment. And equally, Jetfish could do the same from Brandon, and Volcano could do with the same from all 3 of them. At the moment, he's unfortunately out of this one a bit and not on the best. Well, he's on the hard tyres like the front guys are, but he's not at the front is the problem for him. And Bakker, actually, he's getting very, very close to this battle. Well, I said very close. He doesn't look it there, but he's had to come through a lot of the field, and he is looking racy on those soft tyres. Sminotlo with a 3-second penalty as well, which could cost him dearly come the end of the race. Now, Evil Master has just dropped out of... Oh, he's right on the limit of being outside the DRS zone. I'll look for his rear wing, which does not open. So now, here comes Jetfish. And Jetfish, look at this pace. Evil Master trying to cover off the inside. Can't do it, and Jetfish is passed, and he's right behind Glassy now. So Glassy will be looking in his mirrors and hating what he sees there, because he's starting to see this second place in the championship. Although he can see Brandon driving off at the front of the road, it's leaving him, but even third in the championship is looking insurmountable at the moment, because Jetfish has moved himself up into the top 4. Evil Master and Sminotla in between him, in between the 2 Red Bulls and this battle in front. Bakker still 2.5 seconds, so he's not making as much inroads as I thought he would be into Quinn in front. Those soft tyres might start to get a little bit scary around lap 30 and lap 31. Oh, and Evil Master having a moment now. Evil Master really not enjoying these old hard tyres, and he's dropping back. Already 1.5 seconds back on Jetfish. And just showing you the top 4 here, who will finish the season top 4 in the championship, albeit not quite in order. Showing you just how consistent they are. Even if they don't have the qualifying pace, they're so consistent. But here comes Jetfish. Here comes Jetfish down the inside on Glassy. Glassy leaving him room. Won't fight it too hard. He'll know this is a bit of a DRS battle and anything can still happen. Keep it on the road. If Jetfish spins it, it will gift Glassy third in the championship. So he's got to keep with it. And obviously, Jetfish is trying to do whatever he can to take points away from Brandon. At the moment, what he's doing isn't quite enough. Giraffe has just taken the fastest lap of the race, so depriving Brandon of a few more points, which just means that we will have Brandon winning. When I say winning, he will win the race for second place by 4 points to Jetfish. Jetfish now, it's getting desperate for his title race. He needs to get up to Colin and he needs to get past, because that will give him a magic 5 points, which will put him 1 point ahead of Brandon for second place. It is all coming down to the wire in Season 5 here. Colin looking to secure yet another podium as well in second place. Don't forget how consistently amazing he's been all season. Such a shame for Volcano, who got caught up in that spin of the other Mercedes of Al dropping back, and he will be out of this championship battle. But here comes Glassy. He's not giving this one up, and he's moving to the outside. He's had a lot of podiums this year and he fancies another one. He gets forced out wide there, partly for his braking. All good though, but here comes Jetfish back around the outside. They're battling every corner at the moment. Glassy will have to yield there, and he does so. So Jetfish keeping his foot in round the outside. Very, very brave. A very brave time to do it this late on in the season, because any contact now could be hugely costly to either of the drivers. And actually, just looking behind, Smartler does have a 3-second penalty, but he got past Evil, and he's actually right on the back of these guys. Colin also dropping back massively from Brandon. Well, I say massively. It's 1.7 seconds, and Brandon has just been absolutely brilliant tonight. He had that little moment, as we see Volcano has had a moment as well at the back, and oh no. And unfortunately, I'll move off Volcano, because it's such a shame to see his season ending the way it has after being so competitive and was leading the championship in the first couple of rounds. It just dropped off towards the end of the season with a few incidents and other moments, so he will be out of this one. Glassy still fighting with Jetfish though here for third place, and they have took 2 temps out of Colin, these guys, but they're running out of time. Back round the outside again. Keeps his foot in, but watch those sausage curbs, and they make contact, and Glassy's round, and he gets hit by the Aston Martin of Sminotler. And that's it, I think, for Glassy's charge up the championship. Just hitting those sausage curbs, and we mentioned it before the race started, can be so costly, and it proved it there. And Jetfish now, he will claim himself at least third place at worst. And Smith, if you're watching, fantastic with the live standings here, because it's updated instantly. So I can see Glassy losing out. We'll end up finishing about 40 points behind 39 points behind Jetfish here this season after that moment. And let's look for a battle. We've got Quinn and Glassy very close going through the chicane. Glassy has to take to the grass to avoid more contact, and he gets a 3-second penalty. It's going from bad to worse for Glassy now. It's just been a nightmare last 2 races. It's all falling apart at the end, but we've got the brothers battling behind him, Luke and Quinn. Jetfish is desperate to get second place now, but he won't be able to catch Colin. I don't think. He's got 2 laps to do it, and he's running out of time, but they are on very old hards in front. Luke and Quinn battling, and oh, look at that, Luke nearly executing a lovely move there, but maybe a little bit too respectful. But he is all over the back of his brother here, and Quinn doing anything he can on those old hard tyres. I've just seen Backers right at the back now. His soft tyres have gone then. So the medium tyres were the order of the day, it looks like. Wardy saying, I got the front 3 right, just wrong order. Yeah, I mean, the way this race has gone, I mean, the gaps look big now. If you're tuning in now, you think, oh, you know, it's separated, there hasn't been much racing. It has been unbelievable how close this race has been in qualifying and the race. Just a few incidents in the latter laps of the race have just spread the field out a bit, but we've got a little battle here. And Luke and Quinn, I think this is going to be massive for their championship. I don't think Luke's got his telemetry on, so I can't quite judge it, but I think this is going to, if I do my calculations quickly, I think Quinn is going to beat Luke. If they stay in the positions they are, Quinn will beat Luke, his brother, by 1 point in the championship for 7th place overall in Premier Division, if he can stay where he is. If Luke overtakes him, Luke will win by 1 point. That's how tight this is, and they make contact a little bit, and the brothers getting feisty on this last lap. And it has been so tight, but now Luke is going to be under a bit of pressure, and I think Quinn will be quite happy about that, because like I said, this could give him the bragging rights for season 5. in the VDM household as Volcano tries to have one last charge at any consolation, getting the fastest lap there. But oh, Quinn under massive pressure. This is going to go down to the line. And I do want to get on board with Brandon, but I don't know if I can take myself off this battle. Brandon will go to take second place in the championship. Jetfish will finish just 1 second behind Colin. Colin will take first in the championship. Jetfish third in the championship. Glassy will finish a distant fourth, unfortunately for him. Quinn will hold on to take the points from Luke and take the championship position. They both get promoted. Although it says Luke finished 11th, I'm not sure what happened there. That looks like a bit of a glitch to me. All the positions got moved around. Volcano taking the fastest lap at the end, so a bit of a consolation for him. I think riding on board with this man, absolutely gutted for him. I know he'll be devastated about that one. He's been good all season and just unfortunately got away from him in the last 2 races. But I mean, some great racing from everyone throughout tonight. I want to give props to Volcano as well for a great season. Also, the likes of Luke and Quinn giving us a great battle. But I've got to give absolute credit to the podium sitters and also your first 3 in the championship, Colin, Brandon, and Jetfish, on some unbelievable racing this season. And it's just been a pleasure to watch this Premier Division this season. I've loved it. I hope you guys at home have loved watching it. And here we go. Brandon winning the final race of Season 5 in style to secure himself second position in the championship. I did speak to him last week after the race, and he said that was the hope, and he's absolutely executed it to perfection. Is it me, or did that McLaren mechanic look a bit like Kaka, the footballer? Now, I don't know what this guy's doing in the party, but I'm going to try and get the podium sitters in the party, and they are also our top 3 for the season. So we'll get Colin, we will get Brandon, and we will try and get Jetfish into the party so we can have our podium and championship chat. We'll see if they join, and you can see as well, just looking at the leaderboard there, Colin's tyres giving up a little bit at the end. Jetfish coming only 7 tenths away from stealing back second place in the championship, but we do have a driver in the podium chat. We've got Colin, the Season 5 champion. Hello, Colin, are you there?
Good evening, Mr. Jones.
Good evening, Mr. Colin. Lovely to have you with us. A very, very different race. I said some stuff tonight that I never thought I'd say. I said, behind a safety car, Colin's leading his first lap of the race, 17 laps into the race. I couldn't quite believe it. Were you struggling with pace a bit more, or were people just super quick tonight around you?
I have no way.
Okay. I mean, it made for some awesome racing for us to watch. Qualifying was, I mean, it was mega. I think there was 4 or 5 of you within 1/10, which was just epic. It looked.
Completely choked.
Yeah, I mean, you say that, but then you took it at the last second, didn't you? But I think it was just unbelievable all through the field. Did you enjoy the battling tonight? Was it a bit different without the line?
I wasn't going to get in. I didn't want to fight Brandon too hard, so I tried to just keep up with him, but it was impossible.
Yeah, Brandon was seriously quick tonight, and he really went well. But yeah, I saw you were under a bit of pressure from Jetfish late on as well, and I think that would have been crucial. I think Brandon has took second place in the championship by 4 points. If Jetfish had maybe had a lap longer, because he finished 7 tenths behind.
I had already had 2 warnings, so I just backed off.
Oh, really?
Bringing it home.
Yeah, well, another podium, Colin, and just a magnificent season. And, I mean, seriously impressive pace on the no line there as well. I know a few guys are running it tonight, and
saying it is very. I think it's a difficult track for it as well. To be honest, with the curbs and stuff, if you can't quite get your line right, there's so many sausage curbs.
There's no room for error. That's the problem.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, thank you for this season, Colin. You've been absolutely mega. But I'm sure Brandon's going to be listening, and you can ask him some questions as well if you want, Colin. But Brandon, we spoke last week. You said you were going to give it your best, and you've only gone and done it. Absolutely awesome race tonight. I thought when you had that moment coming out of the chicane, I thought, no, that's it, it's gone. What was going through your mind then? Did you think you'd lost it then, or?
Yeah, to be honest, I thought it was done there. Of course, there was the two hard runners ahead, and it's really hard to overtake when you're stuck in a DRS train here. So, yeah, I thought it was over there, but nah, I just stuck at it, kept patient, and yeah, that safety car came, and I was just gonna do what Colin done, to be honest.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
yeah, and then obviously he's running no line, and so yeah.
Yeah, and I think that proved to be the right call in the end. I imagine the tyres weren't feeling the best. If it had been a few more laps, it would have been a bit hairy. But yeah, I thought one, it was a great race. But I was going to ask you, how did you play that race? Were you kind of looking at the scoreboard, well, not the scoreboard, the cars behind a lot? Because I knew Jetfish was kind of making positions up and then getting overtaken. Glassy was there at one point. He had a moment with Jetfish and dropped back. Were you kind of watching where he was, or were you just
Yeah,
completely focused?
yeah, no, my side eye was on Jetfish, I'm not gonna lie. Obviously me and him were fighting out for P2. But mainly obviously focusing on the race. I knew, well, after the start, after the first couple of laps, I knew I had pace for the win. So yeah, it was all about that. But I don't actually know if I got P2. So
Well, yeah, congratulations on the P2, and it was an
okay, yeah.
yeah, I mean, awesome, man. Two
Love
on the bounce in Premier Division, and it was an awesome race for all of us to watch because, I mean, at the end, obviously, it got spaced out, but I think there was a point in the race where there was 10 cars within 3 seconds of each other for
Yeah,
about six laps.
think with those people running no line, I mean, of course, Colin's rapid, but he lost a bit of time obviously with no line, and that brings him back to our pace kind of. So it means we can fight him a bit more.
Yeah, it
So yeah,
was
it's nice for that.
absolutely epic racing, and honestly, it was a godsend Smith having the setting up the live standards for us, but it was changing pretty rapidly at times, especially when you had the moment out of the chicane and
Yeah.
everything was moving round, but it all came off in the end. And I just want to say congratulations to you both this season. You've been absolutely mega. Congratulations to Jetfish, who has unfortunately not joined us as well. And also a special mention to Glassy and Volcano, who I think were brilliant this season in this battle as well. Thank you for everyone that tuned in, and I hope you all enjoyed seeing these guys race it out. We will see you in about 2 weeks for season 6 for some more awesome racing in this division. Cheers.
Can I just say
Oh,
quickly,
yeah, absolutely.
thank you very much for the comms for this season.
Mhm.
Absolutely no problem. To be honest, I just enjoy watching it. It's because I race on Tuesday nights, if anyone doesn't know, and they'll probably be saying, well, we've seen you there, but not really racing. It's actually nice watching people drive the tracks well. So it's great for me. I can imagine I'm you guys, but unfortunately I'm not. But yeah, thanks for that, guys. And yeah, I can't wait to commentate on some more great racing next season.
Cheers.
Yeah, cheers.